I absolutely, positively, 100% have a big dent in my head. That's to be expected, right? I'm dented. Thanks for the money, dummies. Band. The camera's been on the whole time. Bouncy. I'm actually a virgin. See this fucking piece of garbage disc? Thanks for the money, stupid fuck. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Everything's working in Discord. I think it is. I'm going to come on camera in just a second. I did not want that to go full screen, but it did. Try that again. Hello, everyone. Craig's going to be coming on here in just a few minutes, and we're going to be talking back and forth like gentlemen about last year. Now, I got to say this stuff up front. I'm going to treat Craig with respect and dignity after our discussion is over. Then let's come to the stream and let's just crap on him all day. I expect that after Craig's gone, we're going to sit here and have a bullying session against the man. That's going to happen. And I can hang out with you guys and have a target practice session on Craig. I want to sit here and be a bully on the internet, right? It's that simple. That's what it's all about. So let's get this done. Need to get my headphones on. Okay.
It feels like yesterday, Phil.
Which yesterday? You know, we were hanging out like 15, 16 years ago at MagFest, or yesterday when I was on your podcast. I mean, we actually have a history.
I got to be honest, I don't remember that, right?
Actually, if you remember, I was a guest at a Screw Tech Gaming Convention in 2012, 2013. I was actually a featured guest, and I was a big YouTuber in the gaming space. I was bringing in 10 million views a month on my DSP Gaming channel, and we hung out like the whole time. Remember that?
Did we?
Yes, we did. It was fun.
Okay. If you say we were hanging out, then we hung out.
You were like the most nice guy to me. You were there, and you're just a really solid dude.
There's a picture of me in your background. Look at that.
Of course. I've upgraded, sir. Look at my setup now.
Listen, I'll tell you what. Great job.
So let's get started because I want to respect your time. Stuttering Craig is on here today. And thank you for your time, Craig, for being on my Level 1 podcast.
To be fair, it's not necessarily a podcast.
I've already said this right before Craig showed up, so I'm going to say it again because now we're actually have him on the show. This is an attack session on Craig. Oh, I don't like Craig. Let's all in the chat rally against him and insult him and stuff. Let's all take pot shots on Craig. That's the point. And I want you to know that up front. Hey, Craig haters, come on the stream and dump on Craig, and let's accept all the donations for everyone who doesn't like Craig. Let's talk about all Craig's dirty laundry on my stream today. So, I think what we should do to start the conversation is give a little bit of background about Craig, because a lot of people, you know, on my show may not know. Craig, in my opinion, was one of the innovators of making video game content on the internet.
What changed, Phil? When did I become so irrelevant?
Stuttering Craig contacted me and asked me to be on his show.
So that leads us to, we do the interview.
Well, actually, let me jump in. I do want to talk a little bit about my perspective going into this interview and the conversations we had. Because let's be honest, his perspective, it's not the truth of the matter. My perspective is fully true. So from my perspective, you contact me out of the blue. I want you to be a guest on the show. And I'm thinking in my head, I actually was just launching a new channel called DSP React. And the idea was that I was going to try to use this appearance as a way to kind of launch this channel as a way to get it out to a new audience. Originally, I was just supposed to be the guest, and then you said, well, there's an elephant in the room. All these people want me to interview you. Dude, I know Craig. He's not going to do anything to screw me during this interview. He's going to hit me with hard questions, and I want him to hit me with hard questions. You can ask me whatever the heck you want.
And just to be clear, did I do anything during that interview that was dishonorable? You finished that interview, and you thought it was very fair.
The one thing everyone's going to say is when KEEMSTAR showed up. Right? How on earth did KEEMSTAR end up in my interview? And if you remember how it happened, it was really questionable circumstances. Someone DDoS'd me off the internet. And as I got DDoS attacked, KEEMSTAR showed up on the show. So what actually happened?
I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to look through my DMs right now to make sure I'm saying this correctly. But from what I recall, somebody had mentioned the idea of having him on. Look, you said beforehand you didn't want to talk with him, right? Fine, that's fine. You said your internet went out, right? So that was like, okay, well, let's take this opportunity to bring Keem in. And if you recall, during that interview, like I was attempting to honor your word there. You said you didn't want to talk to Keem. So I went out of my way to be like, listen, we'll only have Keem on if you're okay with it. And the intention was to build a bridge.
FYI, because I don't know if you know this, Craig, I had Keem on the show last week and we hashed everything out. We're good.
Cool. Excellent. You probably wouldn't have had Keem on had we not done that on Side Strollers, had it not opened up the communication between the two, right?
Maybe, I disagree. I would have had Keem on regardless. I don't think that him being on the interview had anything to do with him being on this show last week.
So the idea was to build a bridge, right? Whether it worked or not, that's fine. Yeah, it wasn't meant to be malicious by any means. Nothing that we've ever done has meant to tear you down or make money off your misery. That's never been an intention at all.
I understand what you're saying. I get it. But you have to understand that from an outsider's perspective. You've been told ahead of time, I don't want interaction with this man. Literally, one of my trolls who works at Comcast DDOSes me. And you bring specifically the guy I told you I don't want any involvement in this interview onto the interview stream.
I believe we were talking about KEEMSTAR beforehand, right? The conversation about him was brought up, right? So I would rather talk with somebody than about somebody. You said something about Keem. Keem then responded. You come back and you can then respond to what Keem said while still keeping you separate, right? Why don't you just talk to each other right now and hash all this shit out?
Okay, so from my perspective, I'm getting DDoS attacked, and then to now be presented with the man who I told you specifically I didn't want to talk to on the show. Yeah, it smacked me in the face.
I'm looking through my email and I actually don't see any reference to KEEMSTAR at all in that.
Now, in reality, I'm the guy who doesn't want to play ball, who isn't willing to talk, who's just an obstinate jerk, who just wants to, have it his way. Did anything come out of that conversation with Keem? No. We went back and forth for like 5 minutes. Nothing came of it. And then he plugged his Happy Punch boxing, which is really the reason why he was on the show. He did want to talk to me, for sure. That's true. But he definitely was on the show to plug his content. That's literally what you allowed him to do, is do an advertisement.
With that said, we did finish up and you were totally pleased with things, regardless of if Keem appeared or not. You were pleased as punch, said you want to do a second time. Everything was great until the next day.
You're absolutely right. After the interview, I jumped on my own personal stream and I expressed to my audience, listen, I knew he was going to ask questions, that I wasn't going to be able to provide evidence of my side of it or whatever. I just wanted to have a place where people can see all of my answers, so they'll stop bugging me on my streams about this stuff, mobile games and expenses and shit. Has nothing to do with the broadcasting I'm doing every day of gameplay and stuff like that. I just wanted it to be somewhere else. So I actually was happy that we had covered all of that. All right. 100%. I was okay with how everything had gone down. Even the shocking surprise guest and all that of Keem, but whatever. So now I would like to hear your methodology about what happened the next day on your stream, because you had publicly said you were going to do a decompression day where you guys were just going to sit around playing Mario Kart, shooting the shit and having a fun day. But that is definitely not what happened.
You're right. So the next day, Adam thought you were full of shit. I had done a lot of research on you.
What exact research did you do? Like, who did you talk to? What information were you gathering upon when you went into this interview?
I did talk to pretty much anybody and everybody that I could talk to about you. I mean, I can let me see if I can find my Google Docs about it, and I can tell you exactly what my research was. Here we go. I got this doc right here. Potential DSP questions, right? And
okay.
This is,
now, where did this come from? Was this like you asked people what questions you would want me to ask DSP and you made a compilation? Is that what this document is?
Things that people had asked and wanted to know about you. Let's see. I'll just go down the list. I've been told not to interview you. Why do you think that is? When you stream, who is streaming, Phil or DSP? People were really hung up about your taxes, so wanted to touch about that. You know, how you spend your money, obviously, with WWE champions.
Every question you just asked is basically like personal stuff. And it's stuff that my detractors would want to know. It sounds to me like what you did for 2 weeks is you just said, hey, everyone who doesn't like Phil, contact me. I mean, you even had a clip from It's a Gundam, one of the most infamous people who rags on me all the time.
Papa
and
Gundam, yeah.
What I would like to ask you right now, and I hope that you'll be honest with me, in your efforts to gather information about me for this interview, did you talk to anyone who actually likes me?
Nobody reached out that said they really liked you.
There's a good reason for it, and I'll explain it in a second.
If you want it to be the definitive DSP interview, then naturally I should be listening to everybody who has criticisms of you. And if there is this lore that's attached to it, then I wouldn't be doing my job as the interviewer to do research, good and bad, about the interviewee. Otherwise, it's a fluff piece. Not a single champion reached out and was like, hey, did you know this? Did you know that Phil donates to charity? Do you know whatever, right? And had they, we would have.
And fair enough, and I accept that answer, but now I'm going to give you my response. The reason that my fans don't reach out and get involved in this kind of stuff is because my detractors, okay, those people who you were talking to get questions to ask me, systematically hunt down, harass, dox, and do horrible things to anyone who publicly supports me. They'll try to hunt these people down, find their social media, find where they live, find where they work, call them, harass them, call them pedophiles. It's really, really messed up. There's been documented pedophile supporters who give me a $100 tip. They're not going to put themselves into the line of fire of these already deranged people. In fact, just to give you another example, Mike CLUM, who I was planning on possibly doing a documentary with, said to me, you realize that that Side Scrollers interview was just for your detractors, right? It was literally a detractor interview. That's why you should do positive content like a documentary, because you need to have parts of your truthful nature come out. No one saw that in the interview because it was literally detractor question, detractor question, detractor question.
With all due respect to Mike, do you not think he was just puffing up your chest to try to get you to do a documentary with him?
Of course he was. I mean, let's be honest. Of course he wanted to do a documentary with me, but there's always a little moment of truth, right? That interview, if you watch it back, you don't get to learn anything about me besides all the things people don't like about me. That sucks. That's a video that launched you guys into prominence for a while. That interview did give you a launching board to popularity as a result of me. Can we agree there?
Phil, 2,500 people tuned in live to watch that show. We had 3,000 watching our show today. Of that 3,000 who watched our show today, how many of those of that 2,500 were there?
Probably zero, because your show today is a different show. It's completely different content.
Now, did it raise awareness? Sure. Is it why the show's been successful? No.
Getting back to now, because we did get derailed there, talking about the beforehand. So the interview happens. All of a sudden, all eyes are on you guys because you did this interview with DSP. Friday is supposed to be a decompression stream with Mario Kart, but instead it turns into something else. So now let's get into this. So what actually went down on that Friday show for you?
Do we do what we do every day? We just talked about what's in the news. The difference was that we were the news. The interview was the news. People wanted to hear our thoughts about it for the first time. So when the audience says, we want to hear your thoughts about what happened yesterday, you do that. It doesn't matter if Mario Kart was played or not. The intention was still the same, was to talk about what just happened the day before for the first time, just like you did the day before with the decompression stream. Now, was it what you wanted to hear? No. But was it honest? Yes. Adam was upset because he smelt shit. A lot of that stemmed from the WWE Champions thing. That's where a lot of the meat came from, right? So we asked you about that several times. We got the runaround on it. We all knew it was the runaround. You know, we were upset about it, right? Because we smelt the shit. I think that there's actually a lot of irony when it comes to this, in that you admitted to lying about this, right? So with that said, do you think that we had a right to be upset because we felt you were lying? We knew you were lying. You admitted to lying.
Okay. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect that the next day after the interview, you were going to do that. You didn't even tell the public you were going to do that. And now, let's be honest here. What actually happened on that Friday show is you talked to my detractors almost the entire show. You were reading all of their contributions as they rolled in. Okay, you're upset with me. You don't believe me. You smell shit. But there's a difference between saying, well, we just did this big interview, we don't believe him, versus actually actively participating in memes. Your entire cast laughed ack on the show, Craig, together, as if this was something funny to do to deride Phil. I was the guest on your show the day before for 5 hours and answered hard-hitting questions.
Hold on. Did you answer?
I did. Oh, indeed, I answered. You just didn't like the answer.
Phil, don't flip that on me, because you didn't. You were dishonest with us.
It's still an answer. It doesn't matter if it's honesty or not. It's still an answer.
Then let me ask you this, Phil. Will you apologize for lying to us? We knew you were lying, and I gave you an opportunity multiple times. I remember pleading with you, Phil, just come clean on this. Had you just come clean at that instance, everybody would move past this. You're not only lying to me, you're lying to your audience, you're lying to my audience, and you're lying to everybody else. So you should apologize to me and Adam and Travis and Blabs and everybody else who watched that show, because they were expecting the definitive DSP interview, and what they got was lies.
Okay, now since we're getting into the nuance of it, the lies you're talking about are WWE champions. That's what we're talking about. Let's hone in on it.
But will you apologize though? Because that's
let's hold on. Let's talk. Don't demand something from me now. Let's talk like men. If in that interview I had been honest with you and completely transparent, immediately you would have said, "That's great. Prove it."
And we gave you the opportunity to.
Okay, now let's be real about this, because I don't want you to lie to the internet about it. You said to me, show me evidence of what stuff you're saying, show me screen captures or whatever. I'm going to be honest with you. No, I was never going to do that. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, how can I prove it? How can I do this? How can I do that? I need to get this stuff together for you. And you had left the door open. If you want to, clarify everything, you can send it to me after we're done here. You remember that, right? I'm not making that up. That was correct.
Right. I actually have our emails pulled up.
Oh, I don't need to read them. I know exactly what they say.
I do think it's important because I don't want to leave any context out. So do you mind if I read our emails? Because I think it does provide context.
Sure. This is the email that was sent after I got off the show.
Yeah. So you emailed me at 8:18. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on how the show went. I know you'll want to get back to normalcy, but I'm looking forward to hearing from you about the possible next appearance. I'm still 50-50 on showing you my Champions account at this point, especially because of what KEEMSTAR said. But I respect you and still considering it, despite the fact I'm incredibly scared my info will once again leak and hurt me.
Now, did you see my show last night where I talked the truth about WWE Champions for the very first time? Have you seen that at all?
I had a clip sent to me.
In a nutshell, yeah, the account was mine, and after years of harassment by my detractors, I sold the account. So at the time that we're doing this interview, I don't have access to the account, so I can't prove anything. All I could do is I could show you like a new account, which is the account that I had currently. It's not the original account that the detractors knew about and were stalking me for all these years.
Phil, I gotta, I don't really care.
Okay, no, fair, but
really
here's,
I
understand, but you have to understand the situation. I'm 50-50 on sending it, but if you had said to me, yeah, okay, I'm still open to it, I was going to show you the new account. I was going to try to explain all this to you and say, this is why I can't just on a whim show you everything. It wouldn't have worked. So what was your response to me reaching out to you?
So you sent me that email. The following day, I respond at 7:45. I said, hey, Phil, I think the show went okay yesterday. I think we all left the interview mentally exhausted and feeling incredibly frustrated as at the end of the day, we want what's best for you, man. The WWE mobile games, the bank stuff, it just doesn't make sense, man. There's too much evidence saying it's yours and your only evidence is just saying it's not. We gave you multiple opportunities to turn this thing around. Even in the face of insanely detailed evidence, you wouldn't take it. Honestly, I'm just disappointed, man. You deserve to get to level 2. I know you can do it. I think that was very fair. I did not lie to you and be like, hey, Phil, it was great. We felt lied to. The reality is, Phil, we were lied to. And we knew that. Naturally, when somebody lies to you, you're going to be upset.
Right.
So we were
Fair
upset.
enough. Okay, so we got to follow the order of events. I'm on your interview. 5 hours, hard-hitting questions. I lie to you about WWE Champions. You leave the door open and say, you can send me the information after to clarify all of it. You agree to that, right, Craig? You did say that. I go on my show. I say, that was a good interview. I'm okay with it. I even email you, say, I'm okay with it. I'm 50-50 about sending you the stuff. You literally just publicly admitted you don't check your email.
Yeah.
You ended an interview, the hottest piece of content you had ever made at that point on Side Scrollers. You knew people were looking to see if I was going to follow up with you and send you this information, and you decided not to check your email, but instead to do a show ragging on me the next day.
Phil, as we said at the time, you had one opportunity to send the stuff. It wasn't there. You passed on that.
Whoa. Passed on what? You just admitted the door was open to send you the information.
During the show, Phil.
Craig, we're on an interview and a show.
Now.
Craig. We're in an interview. The idea of the interview is for me to answer your questions. It's not stop the interview. Let me dig into documents and get you screenshots and things proving. That's not what the interview was. I got to try to prove now that I've got a new account and it's not the old account, that I sold the account. This is complicated. It's not something I can just do during the show. As I sent you that email, I had everything ready. I literally had it all ready to go. And all you had to do was check your email and say, I'm here, Phil. I'll check it. And instead of having a Friday show where all you did was beat me up all day, you would have had the Friday show saying the big reveal. DSP cleared the air, but you didn't check your email.
I'm sorry that I didn't check my email for 23 hours. That's not how people communicate in 2023. I apologize for that. Will you apologize for lying?
I apologize for lying, but I don't want your apology that you didn't check your email. I want your apology for being completely disingenuous about everything that happened after the fact, after the interview.
The thing is, Phil, I don't think we were being disingenuous. We spent 5 hours talking to you, getting the runaround, man. And like, once again, I go back to the definitive Dark Side Phil interview, and it wasn't. So I'm disappointed in that because there's things that you're telling us now you lied about. We knew it was happening in real time. We felt like we were getting gaslit. So naturally, yes, I felt exhausted and tired and honestly didn't want to deal with you, which is why in that email I said, look, man, I want what's best for you. Is lying to us on stream helping yourself? No, of course not. Right?
Craig, what you told me in that email you sent me on Friday, basically in other words says we don't actually care what the truth is because I had the truth and was going to send it to you and you ignored me.
No, it's not that I ignored you. It's because I didn't check the email. And not
That's
checking
called
the email.
ignoring. You
No.
knew that was our line of communication. You asked me to send you the information. I was going to, and you chose not to check it. You actively ignored the way that I could have cleared my name. And then you went on to do a show that made you tons of money defaming me on the internet. That's exactly what happened. You just admitted it publicly.
Is this like the gotcha? Like,
There's no gotcha. There's no gotcha.
okay.
You read it. I actually wasn't going to read
Phil,
the
Phil,
emails.
like,
You did it.
Phil, I don't apologize for not checking my email for 23 hours. I'm an adult with a family and kids, and honestly, I was tired of it. But I'm sorry that you felt betrayed that I didn't check my email. I did not actively ignore your email. I didn't know it happened. You have to know it was there to actively ignore it.
Craig, in the interview, we ended it with, the door is open. You can send me the information.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to have a bomb go off when someone sends you the thing you directly asked for? Would you not even in a moment think, hey, maybe he's going to contact me today about this and I should check? How else am I going to send you these documents anyway, by the way? It has to be an email attachment, right? I can't just call you and give it to you.
I'm just going based off of our track record of emailing back and forth. There's at least a day between every correspondence that we had.
Craig, this is a really bad cope, bro. This is really bad. You're saying we just ended the interview. You said the door is open. Send me the information, and then you just say, "Well, I'm just not going to check for the information." That's a bad cope. Previously, our correspondence was never a reason for you to check right away. Now you had a reason, and you didn't.
Phil, you got me. I didn't check my email. I'm sorry. Why do you need me? You have a Twitter account. You can post all this stuff available like literally right now.
Is this your gotcha moment? You're going to try to get me to post my shit on the internet?
No, Phil, I'm saying is you don't need me.
That's actually untrue. Any time that I try to defend myself, the detractors move the goalpost. Whenever I try to do something, they move the goalpost. Right now, I could post all the information up and they would say, that's fake. That's not true. You have presented yourself as a neutral third party, except you didn't actually give me the opportunity to send you the information to clear my name.
I'm sorry I didn't check my email, and I would like to take this moment to apologize to you and apologize to all of your champions, and especially all the detractors for not checking my email for 23 hours. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay, so let's move on from the email because this is going to be so boring if we keep talking about this. And I know that your time is valuable. You said you can only be here for about 90 minutes, right? So probably another 20
I got
minutes.
about another 20 minutes, yeah.
Okay, the next day you do a show. The entire show you're ragging on me, saying you didn't believe me at all.
Which you didn't give us reason to.
You laughed with my detractors. You did all the memes. You got a whole bunch of detractor contributions. Did you continue to do content based on me after this at all?
Not especially. I don't remember the context of it, but I remember seeing you said something about us, and I did what was called a monetize the hater stream. You were live. You were talking shit about us or something along the lines, and talking about how bad we were to you. Do I regret it? Yeah, kinda. But at the same time, it's just part of what it is. You're upset that people are like, giving super chats. Maybe they enjoyed what we do. They were congratulating us for
Craig, they don't enjoy what you do. They enjoyed that you were bullying me. That's what it was. You were doing a whole stream, monetize the haters, and you were making money off of making fun of me. That's wrong. That's capitalizing on an already bad situation.
Why was I live? Because you were talking shit about us.
No, I never did that. Not once. The only gripes I ever had with you was how you behaved after the interview. That's literally it. That's the only problem I have with you. You left the door open for me to contact you. You ignored that line of contact. You did a harmful show. Are you aware that because you didn't give me the chance to defend myself after the interview, you did a bullying show where you ragged on me and I wasn't there to defend myself against any of that? Do you know how that hurt me and my viewers and my content? Because now I'm going to talk, Craig. Please let me speak.
Go crazy,
after the interview, I had to cancel a whole fucking show that I had planned that was called DSP Asks It. I had guests lined up to be on the show that I was going to interview. It was a big project that I had lined up. I had to cancel it because the guest said, well, after the side scroller's appearance, everyone who saw your interview thinks you're an asshole. So because of that, we're canceling. So I had to cancel the whole show. Mind the interview. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Let me finish. After the interview, my followers said, we don't care about the interview. We care that they ragged on you after. Now it makes you look like an asshole. Now that makes us look like an asshole. What you thought you were doing was decompression. Let's just be honest. But what you did is you gave more avenue for the people who already hated me to hate more. And the worst part about it, Craig, you publicly monetized it. You monetized bullying. You hurt my business, you hurt my followers, you hurt me. You owe me an apology for that. I literally never monetized hate against you ever.
Sure about that, Phil? You've never once monetized your hate against us?
Oh, I absolutely talked poorly about you, but I certainly didn't have entire shows based around it. I'm tired of this internet drama bullshit. But you hurt me bad with your behavior after that interview, and I want you to understand how bad it was for me. I had to hide for a year. And now to just show you, Craig, how different it could have been, did you see my appearance on Kino Casino recently?
No, I didn't. I don't watch your stuff on a day-to-day basis. I have too much going on to worry about what somebody else is doing online, right? I don't think about you a whole lot, Phil.
Fatality.
Fuck you. You want to know what happened? Public opinion has changed, Craig. Right now, people like me for the first time in ages.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. Being treated kindly instead of being bullied and being monetizing the bullying led me to a redemption arc where now I'm finally fessing up to all the stuff I've done wrong, and it's all changing for the better. That could have happened with your interview, not what you did.
We gave you an opportunity to fess up during the interview, Phil.
Which I couldn't do because I couldn't prove it during the interview. I had to get the information together, and I was going to do that, and you didn't give me the opportunity.
Well, no. All you needed to do 18 months ago was just talk, just like you did yesterday on your show.
No, right? Whoa. Now you're moving the goalpost. So first it was, the only way anyone was going to believe you is if you sent me all the documentation during the show. Well, now you're saying I could have just said whatever.
I will give you that, right? Documentation would have helped your case, 100%. With that said, Phil, just you saying, yeah, I played WWE Champions. Yeah, my name was this. Your point of contention is that after the show, we spoke honestly about our frustrations. Once again, why were we frustrated, Phil? Because we felt lied to, which was validated yesterday. Later on, did I do a Monetize the Hater stream? 100%. Why? Because you were talking shit about me. We've never gone out of our way to go off and say, hey, it's time to dump on Phil because it's fun to dump on Phil. Look, Phil, I mean this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you were hurt. I'm sorry that your community was hurt. And I'm sorry that you felt that way for a long time. That's why I'm on this show. I want to help you close the door with this chapter, right? I want to help you get to level 2. I put down lots of wood over the last 18 months trying to build a bridge. And every single time the email wasn't responded to, maybe you didn't check your email. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, here's the thing. You just apologized to me because I was hurt. I want you to apologize to me because you did it, because you know it was wrong.
I don't think it was wrong. As you said yesterday, you lied to us. You lied to us. We knew it was a lie. Yes, it was wrong in that it was reactionary with the Monetize the Hate stream, right? Am I proud of it? No. Right? And you know what, Phil? I'm going to do you one better. That day on that stream, we made $633.08. I will donate $633.08 to a charity of your choice.
If you actually cared about anything that you're saying right now, you already would have donated that money. The fact is, you have done absolutely nothing in this appearance to show any kind of responsibility or remorse for the things that you did regarding me, my community, or my reputation after the interview. And you've publicly admitted you didn't check the avenue that you could have gotten actual evidence of what I was going to tell you about the truth. When you have a platform, you have a responsibility to be responsible with that platform. If you were going to have the big definitive Dark Side Phil interview, and even if you thought I had lied the entire interview, which I did, you still have a responsibility after the fact to follow up. That's what you didn't do. You actually didn't do the most important part. What you did was the equivalent of if, let's say, Barbara Walters was going to interview Donald Trump. And she does an interview with Donald Trump, and she hits him with all the hard-hitting questions, and he answers with bluster and everything. The next day, she goes on a public appearance where she literally says, I don't believe a word Donald Trump said. He's an asshole. He's a piece of shit. And then as she was doing it, all the sponsors of Democratic causes are sending money to the show. That's literally what you did. That's not integrity. That's bullying for profit. It speaks to your character. I didn't have to do anything. You literally just did it to yourself on the show. I didn't have to monetize hate against you at all. You did it to yourself.
Just to be clear, so when Barbara Walters, who is dead, interviews Donald Trump, is she not allowed to talk about it afterwards?
Oh, she could talk about it. She's not allowed to monetize hatred toward the person she just interviewed. And here's why. Here's why. No. Let me clarify why. If you're the interviewer, you're supposed to be fair and impartial. If that interviewer immediately discredits the person they just interviewed, There's not one fucking person who's going to go back and watch the interview with a fair take and a subjective glance at it. No one who watched the interview gave me that shot because you literally after the interview said, he's a bold-faced piece of shit liar. Let's laugh at him with his detractors. Ha 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 ha, ack, 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 ack. It became a hit piece because of what you did after.
Phil, you did it to yourself, man. You said with your own words, you thought it was a very fair interview. If they think a certain way about you or me or Adam because of that stream, it's based off of the conversation that we had then and not based around anything that happened afterwards. Try to put the noose around my neck all you want. Go ahead. If that's what makes you feel better, that's fine. But ultimately, Phil, it was your lies that you told that led to the ultimate distrust with this stuff, Phil. You can't be upset when we talk about something and somebody super chats about it. I'm not going to apologize for people who gave us money because they felt we either did a good job. I'm not going to apologize for that. I will gladly give that money to a charity, right? And I'll give it to a charity in your name, right? But if you don't want that, that's fine, and that's totally okay.
I'm speechless. You actually think that giving that money to a charity a year and a half later is going to somehow make you look good or something? What are you talking about?
No. What I care about is helping you move on. You clearly are clinging on to this. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. So people have a pretty good idea of me and my character. And for you to attack my character, I mean this with all due respect, Phil. Go fuck yourself. Because you don't know. I've gone out of my way, Phil, to treat you with respect via email the entire time. And I'm sorry that you're upset that I didn't check my email for 23 hours. I'm sorry for that. But I hope we can move past this. I really do. And I hope that this helps you turn the page.
You just told me to go fuck myself publicly on the stream. You realize that, right?
Why?
I didn't do it. You did.
Why? Because you attacked my
No, not why. You did it. We were being cordial. I just had an entire show with Keem last week. And I have way more gripes with Keem than I have with you, and that never happened.
Did you attack Keem's character?
Yeah, of course I did.
Then Keem should have told you to go fuck yourself.
I'll apologize for two things. I'll apologize, number one, that I did lie to you during the interview.
Which
that was
led
wrong.
to everything we're talking about.
That was wrong. And number two, I apologize to the public that I lied for so many years, but I already did that last night on my own show, so they already know about that. And I'll apologize to you now because we're taking too much of your time, and I know you got to get go, all right?
So let me close with this. I want you to really think about your actions here. Why were we pissed the next day? Why? I'm asking you. Why were we pissed?
It sounds to me like you wanted me to come clean on your show and get a really great piece of content out of it. DSP admits to everything that everyone's been saying that he's been doing for so long. And when I didn't do that, you basically had a nothing burger of an interview. 5 hours of a nothing burger of an interview. You thought you had wasted 5 hours of your time, and well, now I'm going to get him back for that tomorrow. I'll make that money in this nice destruction show that we'll do on Friday. That's actually what happened.
You're wrong about all that.
Fair enough, but you asked me for my opinion, so there you go.
Sure. That also tells me where your head's at. We were mad because we were lied to. Had you not lied, none of this would have happened. If you just were honest from the start, none of this would have happened. So you can point the finger at me all day long. But at the end of the day, Phil, what's the old saying? You still got 3 more pointing back. I hope you look within yourself and you take some responsibility in this as well. I do hope that we can eventually work together in the future in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you come on Side Scrollers and we do a regular show.
Now that we've hashed it all out, right? We're all good. You're extending that olive branch and you're saying that that opportunity is there again. Possibly. Not a lock-in, but it's possible that I could be on your show.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not interested. Go fuck yourself. Alrighty, everyone. What's going on? Welcome to the Monetize Hate Against Stuttering Craig segment of the show. That was a very, very interesting appearance, don't you guys think? The reason that I ended the show like I did was very simple, because he didn't show me respect. He actually told me to go fuck myself during the show when I was being incredibly cordial with this man. I was as cordial as I possibly could be with that man. Was I not? But he literally did things I didn't expect he would do. He actually self-exposed himself by reading our email correspondence. And then by the end, instead of manning up and apologizing for what he did, he insulted me and told me to go fuck myself. Absolutely ridiculous. Stuttering Craig. There's a lot of immoral things, I feel, right? I just showed Craig, nothing but kindness and respect. I was trying to be nice with him. He decided to read things that I had no idea he would ever even read, and basically self-felt it himself. I cannot help the man. I tried. Maybe we could get him to just say he's sorry and he'll look better and then we could just move on, and he wouldn't do it. All he said was he was sorry that my feelings were hurt. He literally didn't apologize for the heinous thing he did, public bullying that was monetized. So that was pretty crazy. After he tells me to go fuck myself, he actually thinks that I'm going to want to be on his show. Wow. On what universe do you think that would happen? Okay, so anyway, we need to do shout outs. I'm going to be a man of my word. I'm going to sit here and have this be a shooting gallery and an attack on Craig. I promised him that. Hey, everyone, tell me his dirt so we can talk about it. Monetize Craig's haters. I wish him the best. I really do. No, you don't. You literally don't. You proved that with your actions. I wish him the best, even though I told him to go fuck himself. His show has taken off. It's a political show. He thinks it's not. It's political. It's totally politics and culture war shit and stuff like that. And he's found success doing that. Kudos to him. But I'm done with that shit. I want no involvement with him. I want no content with him. He actually thinks it would have been good content for him to come on my channel and I beat him up in Street Fighter 6. Who the fuck would have cared about that? Who wants to see me on the year anniversary of his show but my detractors? How's that going to give me a boost? Anyway, let's go ahead and start with shoutouts. I received a $5 tip. L on both sides. More couples therapy needed for you guys. All right, fair enough if that's how you feel. I'm happily married with Craig. Purple Biggle Yum Yum, thank you for the super chat. He actually wanted us to kiss. That's pretty disturbing. I got a $2.25 tip from Sour Nipples, and he's trying to cause drama. Dude, why are you trying to cause drama? Shut up. Oh, did you know this guy's doing this over? I don't care. I don't care. You're being ridiculous. I received, let's see here, a $5 tip, and this person is siding with Craig. Oh no, Craig's 100% in the wrong. If you actually think that I was the one in the wrong in that show, go fuck yourself. Wow. I received a $1.50 tip. My personal opinion is I don't think the email is a very big deal. You're being rather petty about it. I think you lying to them was worse. That's from Snow Carl. You can feel how you want, but facts don't lie. The email was the key way that I could actually clear my name and or fess up to everything, and I wasn't given that opportunity. I wasn't treated with respect. I gave them 5 hours of my time. That could have been the redemption arc last year. They made an active decision to not give me that chance and do what they did by not actually checking the email that they told me to send them information in. Craig's a liar. That was his entire defense. I just don't read my emails. It's not a defense at all. I don't know why you would have someone on your show as a guest, tell them to send you information via email that's critical to the story, and then not check your email. I just don't understand that. But maybe I'm logical thinking and he's not. After the interview ended, he didn't care what the real story was. He just wanted to benefit now from it. He didn't care if I had information to actually send him to prove anything anyway. He didn't give a shit. He's not a decent person. Genuinely, he may have just not checked the email, but I mean, that's still completely unprofessional. Andy with a super chat. Craig, not reading the email is 100% kayfabe. Now wait, what does that mean? Does that mean he's faking, or does that mean that's truthful? I forget, because I haven't been into wrestling lingo in a long time. The whole kayfabe thing, I understand. I don't know. What does that mean? It means it's bullshit? Oh, okay. So Andy had done a super chat and said we shouldn't treat him like he treated you. No, you shouldn't. He says go fuck yourself. Well, then now I have the door open to say that too, because he said it first, right? It's that simple. Mask came right off. He's a dickhead deep down. I was like, whoa, out of nowhere, he's gonna go to that level? An anonymous tipper, that ending was epic, but you can't use they did it to me as an excuse for doing the same because eye for an eye. Listen, I agree with you. The thing is, he said that to me. I didn't say that to him. He wasn't going to apologize for what he truly did. He only apologized that I was upset and my fans were upset. He didn't think anything he had done to me was wrong, even though it clearly is. He self-felt it himself with his own reading, his own emails and statements. He insults me. He tells me to go fuck myself. Right in the middle out of nowhere, too. When he told me to go fuck myself, that was the end of it. Now, here's the thing. You say eye for an eye. Oh, well, Tartarian Truth did a super chat. He did apologize. You're letting ego disrupt. Oh, he apologized, but did you hear what he apologized for? He apologized for the fact that my feelings were hurt. He didn't actually apologize for the bad action. He thinks it's okay. That's ridiculous. If you don't apologize for the action, it means nothing at all. By the way, I'm being told right now he's live on stream and he is accepting donations from my detractors and he has $400 right now. He says, I gotta go in 90 minutes because I have family things I have to do, so it has to be a 90-minute interview. But he's on stream right now accepting donations from my detractors, huh? Gee, that seems like a really genuine person, doesn't it? If he is live right now monetizing the detractors again, all he did was prove the point. It's just about monetizing the haters. It always has been. It always will be. That's the only reason he even agreed to be on the show. My detractors are really low IQ people who act really stupidly. So they're going to give this man money for no good reason. They're just that dumb. So now Gaia is saying Craig isn't talking shit. People are lying. He's telling people not to send him money. Craig, why don't you just tell your supporters to donate to charity? If this is the big thing, why don't you just tell your supporters right now, which is not your supporters, it's the detractors of mine who are doing this, by the way. Why don't you just tell them to all send their contributions to a charity right now? He's telling people not to tip, but he's reading out every tip in Super Chat. Okay. If he wasn't sweating bullets right now for that appearance, he wouldn't be broadcasting right now with my detractors to try to save face. Yeet Mania did a super chat. Can we watch him live while you react? No. That man will not get any more attention in my content whatsoever. He's literally proven everything I've ever said about him through his actions. The moment he gets off my stream, he says he has family shit he has to do, and he jumps on his stream and is doing a hate stream on me right now to monetize my haters. I don't have to talk about him anymore, right? No one knew who Side Scrollers was until Darkside Phil was on the show, period. All right. By the way, guys, please like the stream. Engagement is key on YouTube, and if you could like the stream, that would really help me out. Again, if you're enjoying the stream, please click like. It helps this channel a lot if you do so. Oh my God, I'm not kidding you. This is the first time I've looked. We have over 1,400 people on the stream. Thank you guys for being here. I had no idea I had that many viewers right now. The stream is not monetized, meaning there's no ads on the stream, so I'm not making any ad revenue on it. Please contribute in some way if you can, a super chat, membership, or tip. If you like the content, please do, because I didn't put ads on the stream, okay? Cody has tipped me $21.19. He says, hey, DSP, I used to watch you until about 2015 because your begging turned me away. Go fuck yourself.